You used to be different. There was a time when you trusted easily, when you believed in people, when you gave others the benefit of the doubt, without even thinking twice. And then something happened. Someone you trusted completely, someone you never imagined would hurt you. They broke that trust, and now everything feels different. You find yourself reading into people's words, questioning their motives, keeping a part of yourself hidden, just in case. And somewhere deep inside, there's this quiet, painful thought that won't go away. What if I can never truly trust anyone again? If that thought has crossed your mind, stay with me, because Carl Jung had something profound to say about exactly this, and it's going to change the way you see yourself and the people around you forever. Here's something most people don't understand about trust. Trust isn't just a feeling. It's a psychological structure, a framework your mind builds carefully, slowly, to make sense of the world around you. Think about how trust works. You meet someone. You observe them. You share small things first, and slowly, you open up more. You let them into your inner world. That process takes time. It takes courage, and it takes vulnerability. And when someone betrays that trust, they don't just hurt your feelings. They collapse that entire psychological structure. Jung called this a psychic injury, not just emotional pain, but a deep wound to your sense of reality itself. Because suddenly, your mind starts asking dangerous questions. Was I wrong about them? What else am I wrong about? Can I trust my own judgment at all? And that last question, that's where the real damage happens. Not just in how you see others, but in how you see yourself. Now here's where Carl Jung's understanding becomes truly remarkable. Jung said something that most people completely misunderstand about trust. He said, "The healthy man does not torture others. Generally, it is the tortured who turn into torturers." Think about what that means for a moment. The person who broke your trust, they were broken first. Their betrayal wasn't really about you. It was the overflow of their own unhealed wounds, their own unresolved pain, their own shadows they never faced. But Jung went further than that. He said that when we experience deep betrayal, our psyche does something automatic, something protective. It builds walls, and those walls, they feel like safety. They feel like wisdom, like you finally learned your lesson. But Jung warned, these walls have a cost, because the same walls that keep pain out, they also keep connection out. They keep love out. They keep life out. And here's the paradox Jung identified. The people who hurt you the most, they continue hurting you long after they're gone. Every time you push someone away, every time you refuse to be vulnerable, every time you choose isolation over connection, they win again. Jung observed that after deep betrayal, people tend to go in one of two directions. The first type, they close completely. They decide, consciously or unconsciously, that trust is weakness, that vulnerability is dangerous, that it's safer to stay behind their walls forever. And on the surface, this looks like strength, like self-protection, like wisdom. But Jung said this is actually the shadow winning, the unhealed wound running your life from the inside. These people become guarded, cynical. They push away the very people who could actually love them well, because they can't tell the difference anymore between safe and unsafe. The second type, they do something much harder. They grieve. They feel the full weight of the betrayal. They let themselves be angry, sad, confused, and then, slowly, they choose differently. Not blindly, not naively, but consciously. They learn to trust again, not because they forget what happened, but because they understand it now. They know what red flags look like. They know their own boundaries. They know who they are. Jung called this psychological maturity, the ability to stay open while also staying wise. And the difference between these two paths, it comes down to one thing: whether you do the inner work or not. So how do you actually do this? How do you open up again without losing yourself in the process? Jung gave us a roadmap, and it starts with something unexpected. Trust yourself first. Before you can trust anyone else again, you need to rebuild trust with yourself. Trust in your own instincts. Trust in your own perception. Trust in your ability to handle whatever comes. Because here's what betrayal really steals from you. It's not just trust in others. It's trust in yourself, in your own judgment. So the work begins inside. Start asking yourself, what did I know that I chose to ignore? Not to blame yourself, but to reconnect with your own inner wisdom. That quiet voice that sometimes whispered something was wrong before you were ready to hear it. Jung believed that our intuition never lies. We just learn to override it, to explain it away, to choose comfort over truth. The second step: learn to trust slowly, deliberately, in layers. Trust is not all or nothing. You don't have to give someone everything at once, or nothing at all. Give small pieces of yourself first, and watch what people do with them. Actions will always tell you more than words ever can. And the third step: accept that some risk is unavoidable. Jung was honest about this. There is no such thing as guaranteed safety in human connection. Every relationship carries risk. The question is not how to eliminate that risk, but how to choose wisely and how to trust yourself to survive, even if things go wrong again. I want to say something to you directly right now. The fact that you struggle to trust is not weakness. It is not damage. It is not something broken inside you that needs to be fixed. It is a completely natural, intelligent response to real pain. Your mind is trying to protect you, and that protection comes from love. Love for yourself that maybe you didn't fully have before. But here's what Jung understood better than almost anyone. Healing is not about returning to who you were before. You cannot go back, and honestly, you don't want to. That version of you didn't have what you have now. You have wisdom now. Hard-won, painful, real wisdom. You know what betrayal feels like, which means you know how precious real trust is. You know what it costs, and you know how to recognize it when it's genuine. Jung said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely, and part of accepting yourself completely is accepting this experience, this pain, this changed version of you, not as damage, but as depth." The people who have been through real betrayal and done the inner work, they don't trust less. They trust differently, more consciously, more wisely, more beautifully. And that is not a loss. That is a profound, hard-earned gift. So let me ask you something before you go. Think about one wall you've built since your betrayal, one way you've been protecting yourself. That might also be keeping real connection out. You don't have to tear that wall down today. Just notice it, acknowledge it, because awareness is always where healing begins. If this video resonated with something real inside you, please leave a comment below. Tell me, do you find it hard to trust after betrayal? I read every single comment, and your words matter more than you know. And if you're ready to go deeper into this journey of healing and self-understanding, subscribe to The Inner Persona. Every week, we explore the psychology of transformation through the lens of Carl Jung. Because you are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. And that journey, your real journey, it's only just beginning.